Yeah, yeah. I've decided to do this diary at this time. I usually don't do diaries at this time, early time, because I'm usually busy with other things. So today I've decided, since my are cold, and the reason they are cold is that I have been working overnight. I even slept at almost 6 because I was editing this video that I knew very well that it will take some time to do the animation part of it and then the video editing part of it, because this video is quite complex. Remember, I did the audio only. Um, yeah, the audio only. So I have to find the pictures so that they can match with whatever I'm saying. Each and every frame. So, and you know how micro editing this actually takes time, and I'm finding myself loving micro editing. When you are video editing, usually you have to do something at a specific frame, and it has to match with the with the audio. So that is what I was doing yesterday, and I expected to sleep at 2 a.m. but I knew this video will take long, so it took about, I started doing this video at about 7. Was it 7 or even 8? 8 in the evening, 8 p.m. to even 5 a.m. I think so. Yeah, this morning. Wow, not overworking, but I know I'm working hard, and at some point I know it will finally pay off. Right now I have to invest more in objective solutions that I'll offer to people, and Maxpa will be a success. So it's upon me. I've been bestowed the responsibility to make sure that I offer value to people. Now, as I was coming here, actually this is a debate that I've been having with myself. I think this morning, the whole of this morning, I don't know if I was at work, I was editing the video, and this conversation starts to play in my mind. I think it was, yeah, okay. By the I started to think about this last week, and it's quite really concern. It's quite a concern, okay, and it's something that I know will touch me as a citizen of the country of Kenya. I know it will touch me. It's actually the Kenyan flag behind me. I don't know. By the way, was it a coincidence that the place that I'm supposed to sit, usually I sit at this place where there are people there. I usually sit there. Wow. I'm dealing with bed bugs. And they have really infested my bed. I don't know why. Let me end this because I feel that this one that is. Maybe let me hold it. So, yeah, my bed has just been infested by bed bugs, and I don't know how to deal with them. You know, I'm even wishing why, not wishing, but really, I didn't think of this when I moved into the other room. I was living in room 7, so I moved to room 6, and what I didn't think about, you know, there are some medallies that really starts to make sense when you are now into that situation. Medallies such as This is Kiswahili methali such as kitanda usichokilalia hujui kunguni wake. Now it happened literally to me. Like I didn't know that this bed was had some bed bugs on its corners. So it's now upon me to figure out how I can get rid of them and kill them, as I did in the other. Okay, I found some bed bugs in the other bed when I was moving into that room, or even that rent. That room when I was renting it last year. So I should do the same. But this one mistake that I didn't think of that methali at that time. I could have moved with my bed that I had with I the bed that I had in that room 6. I left it there, and this where you are wishing. I could have just carried it with me, because this is chaos. Every day I'm seeing a bed bug, and usually I'm seeing even small bed bugs that have just drank my blood, and you're like, wait, how do you do that? And you know how bed bugs are very silent killers. They can drink your blood without knowing. It's not like a mosquito or a flea. It will bite you, will feel it. It's not. A bed bug will eat and hide. And usually they move very fast. They move very fast when you just illuminate any light on them. It's quite a challenge dealing with them, but I'll figure out what I will do, because the last time I used hot water so that I can pour on the corners of the bed. So that is what I'll do. Exactly what I'll do. And that is the solutions in this life. The solutions to the problems that we face in this life. I've come to realize these big problems. Imagine they require very small interventions, very small, like small but ingenious solutions. Yesterday I talked of the cancer, diabetes, and all left-side diseases. Now, people imagine that treating cancer and diabetes will require radiotherapy, chemotherapy, all those drugs, all those radiotherapy therapy sessions. And it requires drugs. It requires a big science. What do you call it? This science, what? Breakthrough. Yes, a big science breakthrough. But the solution is with us. You need only to reduce the amount of food that you are taking in. That's it. You will control that diabetes. You'll find yourself not even injecting yourself with the artificial insulin. The solutions are very simple to the problems that we face as humans. Very simple. Wait for the tractor to pass. No, as much as food was given to man, this vegetation and fruits and whatever grains, there's one thing that you should come to note. Actually, this is actually logical to say. When you consume something over a long period of time and many times, it now stops becoming food and it becomes a poison. And for it to become something that is helpful, you have to reduce the intake of it. We often hear the saying, and whoever coined this saying was not Aqua Stories Ajaba. As I say, if you do not know what I am saying, just search, just Google it. There are terms that cannot be translated to English. If you're watching this, it's my diary. I don't know whoever watches this diary and it's not Nini. Hakuwa story za Jaba, when he was saying that, I don't quite remember the saying, but when you take something too much, it becomes a poison. You get that Nini? It might not be the real saying, but that is what it speaks about. And yeah, and by the talk of Nini diseases, after I talked about the issue in yesterday's diary, it occurred to me that we make prayers to God so that He can protect us. We make prayers to God so that He can protect us from illnesses, from diseases, and we don't appreciate the process by which God answers the prayers. So we always we always make those prayers as people to protect us from illnesses and diseases such as this arthritis, there is cancer, there is all these lifestyle diseases, there is malaria, there is think of any illnesses that is there. Now there's even the virus. Okay, let me not go to that area, but all sorts of diseases. Now suppose you are working and you make this prayer as a working Kenyan. Now I'm putting myself in I'm just thinking of a person who works in Kenya and is making such a prayer. So you make that prayer that God protects you from the diseases. Okay, fine. You have a job, correct? But they have not uploaded yesterday's diary. Anyway, I'll upload since I'm near the Wi-Fi. Yeah. So you have a job. You've made the prayer. Now God is very faithful. God is very gracious. He hears His people's prayers. So something happens and you lose that job. It was high paying, well paying. It was sustaining you as a person. But now the money that you are earning made you believe that you are a middle class earning person and used to buy any junk, not junk per se, but these foods that have been manipulated, and they no longer have value to us. You are consuming so much sugar. Maybe you are buying juice in your nini. You have a fridge in your home. Now you are no longer now, as a result of not being laid down. Okay, what am I saying? As a result of being fired, now you can no longer afford the food that had so much sugar, the sugar that could have led you to have cancer and diabetes and H. pylori, all sorts of lifestyle diseases. Now, to you, the person who was earning, who had that job, it will it will be such a, you are viewing this as a person who is suffering. God is taking you through this painful process. Little do you know that God was actually answering your prayer. He wanted me to protect you from the illnesses and the diseases. Imagine I I made sure that that job that you had will no longer be buying you the foods that you are buying, so that they can protect you from the diseases. Often at times we ignore the fact that God works in ways that we cannot understand, we cannot comprehend, we cannot fathom as humans. And it's actually funny that we never we never appreciate that fact. Looking at life, I think I've started to view life in a way that, you know what, everything happens for a reason. So after now talking about the issue yesterday, I was like, by the way, I've found myself, I don't know, I'm usually not comfortable when people are just moving behind me. So let me change the position of this phone. I found it in the other hand. Yeah, I've started to appreciate the fact that God has been protecting me throughout. I might have been sinning. I might have been in my own world. I might have nini. But when I look back, I think God has been with me all through. So sometimes I decide to go on fasting after a very so I'm really struggling with space storage. I'm really struggling with storage. So I got cut short. So to my point, let me go back to my point. I really, I need to free up some space. I think I had almost 15, 16 GB free, but now it's less than even 7, which cannot allow me to do some videos, even longer videos. Anyway, I'll come up with a solution. I'll come up with a solution. So, as I was saying, God has been with me, even if I was lost, and is now, and is still with me. He's watching over me. He's providing for me. He's waiting for me to realize that truly that He has been with me all along. So there's this long period that I've been, I think, at home. Anyway, let me actually leave the story alone. I think I'll talk about it another day, many days from now, or even many months from now. I don't have to talk about it. Now, let me do a recap. God has protected me throughout, and I'm like, you know what? I've never seen this. Kumbe, whatever, how I was fasting was actually doing a favor for me. It was protecting me from diseases, illnesses. I don't know. I have had this jerk of knee movement on my leg, and I know it's as a result of a nerve. I don't I don't know what has happened, but I've moved my knee, my leg, and I'm like, eh, were they? I'm not that I have moved my leg. Wait, were they what has happened? I've just moved my leg and I've felt like there's this nerve that has been touched. My body has moved. Wait. Things are happening. I was on that point. Kumbe God has been with me, has been protecting me throughout. Yes, I've been doing my things, thinking that I'm solving another problem. Kumbe God is doing a bigger favor for you, to save you from these lifestyle diseases and whatever is happening in your world. In this world. And lately I've started to see life in a quality manner, not in a quantity per se, and whatever you might expect. It's funny, and I'm loving how I'm starting to view life. Whatever happens in life, I've started to appreciate that it happens for a reason, even if it means this, even if it is the smallest thing, it will play a part in the future. That is one thing that I've come to learn. And if you want to see God's grace, if you want to see God's love, look at the small things that we take for granted. I think there's so much that we don't see as humans, and we might feel offended. Okay, not offended per se. We might not feel that, it has really sorted the problems that you want. I've lacked the word. I'm just using other. The word has just eluded me. Yeah, that is what I've come to appreciate. I think there's much more than what we see. God is with us always, and saves us, and hears our prayers. He always, I don't know. We as people, we don't often see that. And I've started now to view life as, I really should not take anything for granted. Thank God that some things are happening. Thank God some things are not happening, because they will affect your life in one way or the other. And your destiny is what matters a lot. Anyway, I really wanted to talk about that. God always protects us from actually answers prayers in ways that you cannot think of. You might be facing a problem right now. You ask God for help, but now God's motive is actually to solve even a larger problem, a bigger problem than you are facing right now. You might not get what you wanted, but you will have been saved literally from even other bigger problems, or even other wait. Lately, I don't know. Is it wisdom? Is it knowledge that has been? I think I've been coming to appreciate to even listen to God speaking. Talk less, listen more. Anyway, I'm at that stage of life. Even when you are doing anything, you are very sensitive, and I've been talking about this. You are very sensitive. You are very aware of what is happening in your life. You have started to choose quality of life rather than quantity. Something that is happening. I'm at that stage of life where I'm realizing that small things really matter. Small things really matter. I want to talk about. Let's switch back to. I think today's diary will be long. I have so much to talk about today. Yeah, I have so much to talk about. I've done 8 minutes. The other one has almost 15, 17. I don't know. I was saying, yeah, yeah. This topic that was very much concerning. I think it should reach a point we ask Ruto. Now, President Ruto is the CEO of this country, the president of this country, alright? And in his governance, he is proposing that this financial bill imposes more taxes on the Kenyans, alright? Which has never happened with any president in this Kenya that we live in. Alright? Fine. Now, for him, it's actually very difficult. He's actually if this financial bill passes, he'll actually be overburdening the Kenyan economy. And this means that this trickles down to the Kenyans themselves. These are the people who are going to facilitate all these taxes. They are the people who are supposed to, they are the engine behind the economy and money moving. Cool. Now, when I analyze this financial bill, I'm like, by the way, there are taxes that are very unnecessary. For example, you order something in Jumia. Imagine you'll be paying taxes for that. Let's say I order a mouse. Okay, let me not talk of the mouse. Let me talk of a bag, because I'm in need of it right now. A bag that is, that you can put a laptop and you can put books together and you can hang it. These bags that hang on across the shoulder. Yeah, I want that bag. So, Yani, if this financial bill passes, we no longer have Nini. We no longer have. Imagine I'll be paying the tax for that delivery. Imagine. What else will happen when I own a car? When I own that Porsche Cayenne, I'll be required to be paying taxes in that each and every year, or the value, a certain percentage of the value that I have bought with that car. Imagine. Now, don't forget that when I'm importing this car, I'll be paying taxes to KRA and I don't know, IRA. I'm not sure about the agencies. I'll be paying taxes, alright? And this is another tax. Now, when sending 100 shillings, I'll be now to another person through M-Pesa or whichever means, I'll be paying 40 shillings to another person, to the government as tax. What else will be happening? Let's say I'm working on this job and I usually earn a certain amount of nini. Of course, there are government deductions such as the pay, NSSF. There are some taxes in there. That is tax enough for government to collect. Again, it has jacked. Now, when I cough, is when it is happening. There's some stimulation in my leg. I'm feeling that there's something that is pulling my big finger on my big toe. So there are many taxes that will be imposed if this financial bill passes. All right. Now, hold that cup, hold that beer. You're not yet drunk. There's so much that is I'm going to talk about, and it's very genuine. It's coming very as a genuine question that I want to ask the president. If I be given a chance to ask the president, let me say, I'm being offered a space, a free space that I can ask the president questions. I sit him down. I start to ask him real questions, heavy questions. Ish, by the way, what is happening? My leg is being pulled each and every. I don't know. Usually the nerve is behind the leg. What is not happening? I'm feeling some jerking on when I move the knee or when I cough. Something that is really concerning. Um, Someone is behind me. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm hearing some movements of the grass. Anyway, let me assume that no one is there. But it gets even much louder. Let me continue. So I need to have I need to sit down with the president of Kenya, and there will be full glare of the cameras. If given that chance, what else could I do? Yeah, I'm my own. Not that I'm pretending. Usually, when you are interacting with a big person, you are likely to, you know, massage their ego that you are doing good work. No, it will be a very genuine conversation. By the way, what have I said? I need to cut that. I need to cut that out. It's because as a citizen of Kenya, I'm just angry at the person who is driving the country, the CEO of this country, who happens to be the President Ruto. There's some anger in me that's, Anyway, let me go back to whatever I'm saying. I need to have if I given a chance, I'll have the real conversation, not debate, conversation. Because this Ruto man. So I sit down with him, and we have a very frank conversation, not a debate. Alright, the other times he does a debate with other people. Those are not interviews, by the way, because he always has a way to get out. He always has a way out of these hard questions. I sit down with him, full grace, all cameras, all nini. The other day, I had that direct line, which is that party insurance cover for cars, has just been. It's no longer working. It's no longer. It's no longer what. Direct line is actually an insurance company for cars and automobile. You're like, by the way, nothing is happening. It has now gone off the market, and the person who owns the company happens to be SK Masharia, who owns some few broadcasting companies and radio stations. He owns Citizen, there is Ramogi, there is Inoro TV, and a couple of radio stations. So one of his company, Direct Line, has decided to go off market because there's so much unfavorable environment here in Kenya, conducive, and almost 70% of the of market share was taken by Direct Line. So all the Kenyans, motorbikers, there are cars, personal. I don't know which cars it was covering this insurance. So all of them have now been left hanging, and the reason behind it is that SK Marsharia didn't support Ruto when he was campaigning. He was actually opposing him coming to, and there are things that happened, such as his media stations were favoring more of Odinga than Ruto, and in some way, after Ruto has gotten into power, he decides, in some ways, he's taking away the big presenters, not the big presenters per se, but the 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 influential, what do you call it, broadcasters, okay, what do you call this, news anchors and reporters. He's taking away the influential people in that media, and after that he's taking away the Direct Line insurance from SK Masharia because he didn't support him. That is what he's suffering from. He didn't support Ruto. Now go back to the conversation that I was having. I want to sit down with Ruto and ask him very genuine questions, very frank, very, I'm talking real things here. I want to ask him. By the way, my even concern is, I don't care what you have planned for the economy. I don't care what you are up, what you have planned, what you have said that you will do. I don't care. I really want to ask one genuine question. By the way, I'll have even no more questions. I'll only have one. I sit down with him, me on this side, him on the other side, cameras in full glare, and I want to tell him, before even we start, I want to tell him, by the way, I'm going to ask only one questions in this whichever brief or whatever meeting. One question only, and be frank of yourself. And I want to put rules, or even, okay, yeah, let me say a rule. I want to give him what do you call it, some guidelines on now how he'll answer. I want him not to answer as the president who has a vision for Kenya. Alright? I want him to answer as William Ruto, not the president of Kenya, as William Ruto. The cameras are watching, and this will be a very frank. No one will judge you. We'll listen to you until the conversation will be over. One question. By the way, Mr. William Ruto. By the way, I'll even call him bro. Bro, many things are happening in Kenya right now. Many things have shifted. Investors are going away. But put that aside. Hold that beer. Hold that milk. Now the real question. I've been just beating around the bush. Let me ask the real question. William Ruto, What are you planning for Kenya? Like, genuinely, being frank, what is in your mind, that is going on through your mind when you are making this financial bill, when you are taking away some, when you are chasing away the nini? What are you up to? Like, genuinely, give, like, tell us your intentions for this Kenya, now that you are in that position that you are in right now. And an honest answer I would expect is, I want to weaken the Kenyan economy. I want to make this I don't know what I'm saying, but by the way, this is actually a question that every Kenyan might ask. They might not ask, but they want to ask. What are you planning for in Kenya? What are you up to? Yeah, question ended. The answer that I will expect is, I want to sabotage the economy of Kenya, make it go to its knees, make Kenyans powerless, make Kenyans suffer, so that I can rule for 30 years in this Kenya. I can be president like Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for 30 years here in Kenya. Yeah, I want to hear such a conversation. Genuine intentions, no one will nini. So that as Kenyans, we are comfortable. We are even psychologically prepared that, okay, this man wants to rule the Kenya in the Kenyan president, as the Kenyan president for that years. That's it. Yeah, me, I expect a genuine answer. I want to kill the Kenyan economy so that it can start to worship me as the president. Yeah, a genuine answer just like that. And imagine, as a citizen of Kenya, I'll definitely know. So this is what you are up to. Fine. Psychologically prepared. And you know the next step that I'll make. Leave Kenya. It's not the Kenya for me. It's not the country for me. And I've been saying this for... Wait! It has just reminded me. Before when Ruto got into presidency, I said these words. When President Ruto gets into power, I know something will shift. And after he gets that, I'll move out of Kenya. But I said the exact thing here in Moi. I think I was telling a friend. Back then I was living in this hostel L. When Ruto gets into the presidency, this power, and you know the type of person that he can make, I'm leaving this country. By the way, I've said it here. Mimi, I get a chance like this. I'm even looking for those opportunities. I get that one chance. Move out of Kenya. I will not even blink or even think twice. Move out of Kenya. Even and anyway, let me just not put my name. I've talked about it the other day. So the genuine conversation that we should really have with the president. If given a chance, I'll ask him the question, what are you up to? Because I know the intentions are not good. You are a taker. I talked about it. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? He's a taker. He's not a giver. Because and neither is he a matcher. He's a taker anyway. After reading this book, Give and Take. So that's that. I really want, because I'm speaking my mind. He's up to something, definitely. And it will take, anyway, I don't know if one day he'll see this video. Anyway, I leave that aside. Today's diary will be long, about even 1 hour. Veterinary. By the way, where do these people get in? I mean, I've never betted, but M-Pesa. Oh, I note something. When I bet with a certain betting company, I usually receive some such messages. The other day, I usually bet. I placed a jackpot bet, the midweek jackpot for Betika. So it means these people sell our data. But anyway, let people make money. I think that's their hustle. I respect everyone's hustle, and they are doing their marketing strategy and campaigns. So I want to talk about something. I've been reading this book, and now I'm on this chapter: powerless communication. Powerless communication. Powerless communications means that you have influence to people, but you are not giving it out when you are talking about it. Like, you're not bold enough to talk about it. And in this manner, powerless communication, one tool that I've learned about it today, and I use it often, only that I don't note it. Givers and takers. It is the battle between givers and takers. And this is actually it has proven to be a very powerful tool. And I have used it the other day, and I didn't realize that I was using it. Now, givers tend to be not very powerful speakers or powerful communicators, but they can use some aspects so that they can have influence to other people. What does this influence mean? There's this tool called seeking for advice, and which I've come to learn that it's actually a very powerful tool. As a giver, I am naturally a giver. On the side, sometimes that I try to be a matcher and I struggle a lot. I'm supposed to be a giver. So yeah, seeking advice is actually a very powerful tool when interacting with people as a giver, not as a matcher or a taker, because it won't work for them. For them, seeking advice in other people means that it is like what do you call it? What's the word? I don't know. Where do words run away when I need them? It will expose them as being weak. Yes. And now that is what they are fearing. And that fearing means that they'll not use it. But for the giver, it is an advantage. It means that you are giving people, you are actually doing what? You are giving power to the other parties, and you will form an influential stage. They'll look at you as a person who is more valuable than others. This tool has proven to be very effective if you want to win over someone's heart, over someone's attention. Imagine ask Nini. But again, there's a catch. When seeking advice, it must be genuine. And by genuine, I mean very genuine. Like, you're facing a problem and you really need professional Nini, or even other people's opinions, other people's advice, other people's you are buying other people's thoughts. Remember trade of minds? But they didn't think of it in that perspective, in that deeper manner. They've started to think about it in that in that aspect. What does that mean? Using this as a tool, this means that you are making yourself powerless so that you can have influence. Remember, powerless communication. That is one tool that you should use. And I'll give an example of there's this certain lady that usually is a teacher of this master classes for speaking, for communicating. Now she gives this story of how she had taken a loan from this microfinance apps and usually when you delay when paying, they call until you pay. They bother you until you pay. It has happened again. I don't know what is happening. I think my sitting position is actually one that is bringing all this out. Wow, I've clocked 34 minutes. This what I'm currently doing. Now I've done. It will add up to this 1 hour anyway. Okay, fine. Let me continue with whatever I'm saying. So she has borrowed a loan from microfinance, and she has delayed from paying. Okay. Now, what happens next? Can be what do you call it? Is something that you can bet on. The word is running away from me again. The words are running away from me when I need them. So these people are calling, and it has now turned to be a nuisance because these people can really bother you. Because I've been in that position. You have a loan, they are calling. Even if you have I literally had 3 shillings to pay, but now they are calling. Was it 1 shilling or even 3 shillings? They are calling. Hey, they even call your grandmother to tell them that you have a loan. Hey, you're like, oh, anyway. Now, one time, this lady calls her. She calls Nangami. She tells her to pay the loan. Now, you can imagine the tone in her nini. You have to pay the loan. You have to. No, she's actually very noisy. Now, Nangami is actually a person who used the tool, the seeking advice from that person. She decides, okay, she has confronted me. Let me bring her to my level. Bringing her to my level means that you are lowering your tone. Okay. A tool that give us use the most. Use. Now that is a subject that I'm talking about right now. Something that she's using against her advantage. Genuinely. Now she doesn't have the money to repay the loan, so she lowers her tone. On the other end, the woman who is the lady who is calling her, she's like, wait, when you are talking to someone and they lower their tone, they are being forced to come to even lower their tone. So you must speak at the same level. Yeah, you are speaking at the same point of view, the same tone. That is what she does. She speaks softly and in a low tone, so the other party is prompted to even lower their tone. They have moved from 100 to 50. Now Nangami takes genuinely says this: I really do not have money to pay your loan, and I know you are a financial nini. Now I'm asking you for you I'm asking for you to advise me on what to do because I don't really have the money, like genuinely. Now they are speaking at the same tone, and what does that do? It prompts the other party to start understanding, to start having genuine conversation with them. It starts prompting them to have at least genuine and frank conversation. So the other lady ends up, even okay, forget about the loan. When you tell me when you will get the loan, when you get the money to repay the loan, I will personally take care of your needs if you don't have that money to pay the. What does Nangami use? Seeking advice, but but exposing the weaknesses that she genuinely has, because seeking advice will not work if your case is not genuine. It won't. So she's able to influence the other party. She's able to communicate, even and even the other party is so able to resonate with Nangami. Look at how powerful the tool is. Because as I know, okay, I might not know Nangami personally, but I think she's a giver. Because, and this is a personal experience. Hey, there's something wrong with my foot. Even after putting it down, I'm feeling something. So that is the tool that she used, and you see how powerful it is. The only problem is that only givers can use it. Matchers, when you seek advice, for matchers you need something in return, and for takers it will just expose their weaknesses. The other party will perceive them as a weakness, and you see a characteristics of a taker is that they want to have the final say. They don't want their weaknesses to be exposed. They want to be alpha. The alpha nini person in the room. They want to be the big person in the room. They want a person who always has an answer to each and every nini. That will not work for them, at least. For givers, it is actually a very effective tool. And I was thinking, as I was reading this, I came to realize, wait, I've used this tool before, and it has taken some effect. Only that I didn't note the effects that it has done. So I was thinking about, wait, I usually have this weakness that I cannot talk. Or me interacting with people is actually a challenge. Why can't I use this tool to make friends, to even win girlfriends, to even I'll meet my wife? It's actually a tool that I'll use. I was thinking about, by the way, a silly idea, a very silly idea. I don't know how it came about, but you see, I placed this scenario in my mind. By the way, I met this girl. Beautiful girl, beautiful brains. She's someone that we can vibe with. We are compatible. And all this starts to play in my mind. I'm like, by the way, let me approach this girl and ask for advice. I'm genuinely interested in becoming partners with her, friends, girlfriend. Okay, I don't know her. She's a stranger. Now this is playing in my mind. I'm like, by the way, reading books is very important. It has exposed me to realizing that there are communicating strategies that I can be using. As much as I am not I'm not good with interacting with people or communicating with them. Now I start to ask. I approach this girl. This is happening in my mind. Okay, I ask this girl, by the way, Okay, I approached this girl and were like, I want to ask you a very genuine question. Suppose you are a boy, you are this male. Ah, male is bringing such a vibe, such a there's a way when you think of a male. Okay, let me put it this way. Suppose you are a boy and you have seen this girl, beautiful girl, and who you have seen that you can vibe with. Imagine you are a boy. How will you tell her that? How will you show? How will you take it? How will you show um, that you have liked them? Now, these are questions that I've posed to the. I have thrown to this girl, this stranger girl, and from that question, you have now established rapport with that girl. If she answers, and she genuinely answers, imagine that is a good takeoff to start even talking now. Now you have a legal ground to even start talking with her, flirting with her. Now you have killed two birds with one stone. You have flirted with her, and you have won her heart. I think that is a strategy that I'll employ. That is really a strategy that I'll employ. I've learned that when you want to establish a friendship or even a connection with someone, ask them if they are genuine perception or even thinking of the subject that you want to say. Probably that's the tool. I've not been getting it. I've tried to analyze. By the way, you want to get to hear of the other person's opinions or say, but how do you take that into effect? Kumbe it is using the tool of asking for advice. Genuine, but it has to be genuine, by the way. Like, it has to be really genuine. You really want this girl and you are interested in her. Wow, I'm really learning a lot from this book. And I'll continue to read. I've downloaded a couple of books. But after finishing this, I guess I have a lot of books to read. Even for the whole of this year. These books are really opening my mind. I don't know. This is happening at the right time. Anyway, fine. Yeah. It has been a long day. I've done 1 hour again. And today I've communicated very swiftly. And it's because I'm talking slowly. In a low tone. When I'm speaking in a low tone and in a relaxed manner, I talk in good English, fluent English. Yesterday I was called by Safaricom PLC, Safaricom customer care. English was actually an problem. I don't know why it decided to leave the room. My English decided to leave the room, and it's because I was speaking very fast and in a very loud tone. That is why I even mixed with Kiswahili. Hey. It was actually a struggle to speak with the customer care. I had a challenge when I think with my Safaricom line, when I recharge, some airtime become disappear out of nowhere. Kumbe I was registered with a promotional service. And this is an inside job. That is someone who decided to register me to that service. So I needed to opt out. So customer care calls me after now requesting help in Facebook. So they call me and they help me out. That is what happened yesterday. So yeah, electricity got back at almost 7. Anyway, I think I should end this diary. It's very long and I don't feel tired. But I have realized that when I speak in low tone, I speak more fluent English. Okay, Okay, I'm learning more of myself. Anyway, this video will be very long. This video will be very long. Eh, it might be even longer than the other videos that I've ever done. Anyway, I'm speaking my mind, and I have to end this here. There are grey clouds that are forming the sky. It might rain heavily today. But anyway, let me end this diary. Remember, if it can be shaken, it can be moved. Until tomorrow, adios.